Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got half the Koco crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, sexiest man on all of wrestling radio. Boom, boom, here, singing room, live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. And of course, join me there way across the pond, the man who's just a stone's throw away from the River Thames, talking about none other than LK. What's up, buddy?
I'm miles away from the River Thames, but anyway, it's cold as fuck in here. I've got this layer, a layer under here, and then the shirt on, and I got my dressing gown. Booms, if you realised how in England right now, where I am, it's -6 out there. It's about 3 to 4 in here, so I'm warmer than out there. And I got my cup of tea here in my hand. I got a Pepsi to get me through energy-wise. I just came through Impact Wrestling. This is your first time watching Impact Wrestling in what, a decade?
It feels like it. I can't even tell you the last time I watched TNA. It's been a while. It's been a long time.
And TNA is no longer the name of the company. I bet this is a great thing. Okay, so Anthem at the start of the show, it said Anthem Sports and Entertainment presents Impact Wrestling. That made me extremely happy. That made me so happy. No longer is it TNA presents Impact Wrestling, it's Anthem presents Impact Wrestling. And on their Facebook and on their Twitter, it's no longer TNA Wrestling, it's Impact Wrestling for both the Twitter handle and both the Twitter name. All the Facebook is just Impact Wrestling. There was no mention of the word TNA on the programming except for on the championship belts. So that is good. That's very good. That you can't market the name TNA. Like if you went up to a stranger and went, "Do you want to watch some TNA?" They'll be like, "You disgusting pervert." Whereas if you go, "Do you want to watch some Impact Wrestling?" They'll go, "Fuck off, you sad prick." You know, I'd rather the prick than the pervert, if you ask me. But Booms, you have a guilty confession to make, so confess away.
Okay, I said I was going to watch TNA, and I did that. However, I got the times wrong. I thought it came on at I think it was 8 o'clock my time. Instead, it came on at 7 o'clock my time, and so I missed the first hour. However, I did watch the second half hour, everything, all the way through. I did, from what I understand, I only missed one match, but it was one hell of a match. But everything else I watched, and this is the first time I've watched, and I can't tell you how long.
But did you give it a win, loss, or tie for what you saw? From
what I saw, I'm going to give it, I guess maybe I would give it a weak win just based off of what I saw. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but I mean, there was definitely some room for improvement.
So will we regularly be seeing you as a co-host for the weekly TNA Impact Wrestling review?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Let's just get through this week first.
Well, we'll get through this one. So the show started off with EC3 in-ring promo. He got interrupted by Lashley. Lashley challenged EC3 to a last man standing match for the number one contendership for the Impact Wrestling World Championship. EC3 accepts. There's a big brawl until security separate them. That led to the last man standing match itself. This was a damn good match. I really did enjoy this. They both hit superplexes off the top. EC3 hit a spear through a table for a 9 count. EC3 hit about 2,000 chair shots. EC3 with a sleep hold on the apron, and Lashley kind of fell asleep and fell off, sending both of them through the announce table. Lashley got up by 9, and EC3 got up at 10, but the bell would already rang. You protected EC3 there because it was literally a split second. If he was just a split second more, he could have won the match. And Lashley, he wins. He's the heel. Eddie Edwards is the babyface world champion. So you got a heel Lashley versus babyface Eddie Edwards program going forward. 3-star match. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and match of the night. I really did enjoy it. I would go. Good. I was going to say, what were your thoughts on it, but you didn't watch it, you little bastard. But the thing is, you got the time wrong.
Yeah, I just got the time
every single show. Right. So I watch every single American weekly television show: Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Lucha Underground, TNA Impact Wrestling every week. And for my time zone, every single show starts 1 a.m. Every single one. So in America, does it depend on the time zones when the show actually airs? Because that's muddled up.
Well, I mean, I just messed up. I was mistaken. I haven't seen TNA so long. I thought it came on at 8 o'clock. Actually, 9 to 10. Actually, yeah, it came on like an hour earlier than what I thought it would. So that's just a mistake on my part.
That's fair enough. I just thought all of them started.
I basically just did some assuming, and that saying, when you assume, that's what happens.
There's your Friday the 13th moment for you right there. You missed the first hour. Then we went to a backstage segment with Eli Drake and Tyrus. They grabbed some TNA staff member who hasn't been paid for about a week. He says, he makes him say something, and he makes him talk about how the fans don't appreciate him, how the fans don't appreciate his mic work, so he's not going to talk. Drake then beats the shit out of him, generally beats the shit out of him, grabs him by his shirt and just throws him around. He looked like a legit badass, and he has Tyrus, the fat sack of shit, with him. But I've been saying this for months. I'm a huge Eli Drake fan, and I see nothing but success for this guy, and I'm hoping for an Impact Wrestling World Championship reign for him sometime down the line.
All right, so what was he upset about?
So basically, he lost a match with EC3 in November, and if he lost, he wouldn't be able to talk again because he's a fucking magnificent promo, like a really top-draw promo. And he lost, so he hadn't been talking. And then last week, he got his voice back, and fans were taking the piss out of him. So he was kind of like, you know what, you don't appreciate me, fuck you. And then he was taken out on the staff. But I really, really like this. I thought it was really... And then I wish you saw this, because this, quite frankly, is a bit disturbing to even talk about. Rockstar Spud is in the ring. He introduces Aaron Rex, Damian Sandow, for you booms. Aaron Rex comes out in a furry white coat and lipstick. Unbelievable. I was shocked. I was just stunned. Oh, Jesus, unbelievable. It looks so weird. And Robbie E comes out. Do you remember Robbie E, that goofball?
Yeah.
He was the normal one. Rockstar Spud is dressed up in a sailor's outfit. Rex comes out in a furry white coat thinking he's Orlando Jordan from fucking 2006. And, Robbie interrupts and says, what the hell are we looking at? Because what the scary thing was, 2 to 3 weeks ago, Aaron Rex was just Aaron Rex, the wrestler. Now he's dressing up as some woman. And Robbie says, this is a new era, but Rex, this is the same old jackass. 2-on-1 beatdown. Rex punches him with a ring and then starts talking like a female. And I didn't like this at all.
Are they doing like a gender bender gimmick for him?
Kind of, but he didn't. He talked like a woman, but he didn't say things women say. It was really strangely done, and you will either love this segment or you would hate it. I'm on the fence. I'm I hate it. They're trying, bless their cotton socks. They're really, really trying to do something different, but that was just weird. And maybe it'll just take a few weeks to get used to. But that was horrible. Then you had a backstage DCC promo. I cut a promo on the Decade. Bram says how he hasn't forgot what the Decade did to him. Kingston says how it's bullshit, how it took him 15 years to get here. And then Storm saying he's James motherfucking Storm, basically. Then we went backstage with Maria. She verbally batters Ali and talks about how she won't ever be a wrestler, and Ali and Braxton Sutter will end as Mike Bennett will end Sutter tonight. So you promoted the match. I mean, during those backstage segments, you got the DCC promoting the match against Decay, and you got the Maria promoting the match with Mike Bennett, Braxton Sutter. So at least they're doing what Monday Night Raw fails to do, and that's actually promote the matches and make you interested in the matches. So I'll give them that. Where did you join? What was the first thing you saw?
It was during the tag team match between the DCC and the Decay.
Cool. So I made a tea during the start of this match. When I came back, it was an all-out brawl. All the way to the back. So if there was anything else I missed, was it just a complete motherfucking brawl?
It was just like a standard tag team match. It was just constant tags in and out. I mean, there was really nothing really huge. Crazy Steve did make a hot tag to Abyss. It eventually degenerated, went to the outside, and James Storm clocked Abyss with a water bottle from the announce table. Referee, I don't know if he called it for disqualification or if it was a double count out, but there was no winner. I do know that. I do know that. And then it turned into a brawl, and they started crawling. Everybody started crawling to the back.
Yeah, that's where I came back. I didn't realize how long I was. I came back, holy shit, I fucking missed this. So thank God you were here. Otherwise, I would have just been yeah, they had a brawl. Then we had a sit-down interview with the returning wrestler Brooke Tessmonger. She talks about leaving Impact because of having a child and wanting a family, and then says she's back full-time and plans on becoming the Knockouts champion.
Who is she married to?
I think she's married to Robbie E, but I think that was a long time ago. Like, I think that was a real long time ago. They might have broken up. I don't care. Like, on my Twitter feed, it was lighting up, oh yeah, Brooke's back. I just remember her having a nice backside and her wrestling being abysmal. That's what I remember of her. Like, and it's not a big deal. They're promoting it like it was a big deal. Like, okay, cool, we get to see her backside. Apart from that, does it really matter? Does it really matter that Brooke Tessmanger's back? I mean, do you remember Brooke Tessmanger?
Yeah, I do. And, you know, props on her getting back in shape after having a kid. I mean, she's been out for over a year now.
I guess so. I guess it's a fresh face, and it's a familiar face, and I'm happy she's got a job. You know, she can support her family. I'm happy for that. I just don't get how it's such a big deal. It's not like fucking Kenny Omega's coming here, is it? I don't know. Maybe I just looked a bit too much into that. Then we went to Mike Bennett versus Braxton Sutter. And this is a strange one because Sutter, he's actually in the X division. And since the rebirth or the regeneration or the new era of Impact Wrestling, there's been no X division matches. There's been no X division matches. And I don't like that. Like, I struggle sometimes to remember who the actual champion is. The match was okay, so I had a nice leaping neckbreaker off the top. Maria distracts Sutter, allowing Bennett to hit a super kick and a Death Valley driver. Maria screams, finish him. Mike Bennett then hits a pile driver. Ali comes out all guns blazing. Sutter then hit a jackknife pin to get the win. Logic set up to Sutter and Ali versus Bennett and Maria, I guess. I guess that's what they're going to go with. But I enjoyed the match. Bennett's in fucking magnificent shape. And I remember last year reading somewhere online that Mike Bennett was going to be done with TNA in 2017. Maybe with the new ownership, he might stay around because I wouldn't mind seeing him in the main event scene. What are your thoughts on Mike Bennett?
Okay, first of all, the whole miracle, I don't understand where that comes from because, I mean, it's like, okay, the guy's name is Mike Bennett. What starts with an M? Magic? No. Maniacal? No. Magnificent? No, too overdone. Miracle? There you go. I mean, it's just, what does he do that's so miraculous? I mean, I think they just, what's something that starts with an M we can tack onto the front of Mike Bennett. And then somebody just said, the miracle. And I'm like, okay. The match itself was okay. I just think here my problem with it was, by the way, I will say that a pile driver is like my favorite old school move of all time. So it's kind of refreshing to actually see a pile driver performed, especially in the United States. You know, and not just a pile driver, like a gotch style pile driver, just driving you down. And then you have Maria, no, do it again. The only thing I had a problem with was just Braxton got, okay, first of all, Ali, you're going to have to explain to me what Ali and Maria's beef are, what the beef between those two are, because there's a couple of things. Is Ali comes out there, you know, apparently she's got some kind of vested interest in Braxton. And then Maria's like, no, you have to watch it, grabs a hold of her head. And I'm like, first of all, why is she not decking her? And okay, and if you're going to make her watch, you need to like beat her up, you know, you need to like, you know, slam her down, you know, pull her hair, you know, to make her watch. But the problem was Braxton, after taking that hellacious pile driver, just pops back up, not even a minute later, and rolls up Mike Bennett. I'm like, no, a pile driver is, you know, kayfabe-wise is devastating. I mean, you can break somebody's neck doing that. Hell, people have gotten their necks broken with it being botched. You know, there ain't no bouncing back up from a fucking pile driver. I think they missed out on something. If you're going to have, you know, that, you know, finish him and he's going to bounce up, you know, Ali needs to go in there and interrupt that pile driver to keep it from happening, provide that, you know, that moment so Braxton can get around and then get that roll up. You know, that would have worked. Or if Bennett just keeps, you know, pummeling Braxton and Ali's forced to watch. I mean, there's a lot of drama, but I think they just missed out on an opportunity. because I mean, I just don't feel like a pile driver, an old school pile driver, something you just pop up from, steal a roll up, go, don't. I mean, the guy didn't even grab his fucking neck, and I'm like, okay, missed opportunity.
Oh, he's not exactly a big, well-known name, so maybe we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's just he's not used to TV. I don't know. We'll give him the benefit because he hasn't been on the roster for very long. I'm going to be honest with you there. What I like about this is basically the way how this works is Maria brought Ali in as her like apprentice, like an assistant, and Ali's quote not a wrestler. So she is a wrestler, okay, and everyone knows she's a wrestler, but kayfabe wise, she's not a wrestler. So she's been getting some wins over Maria's like stable of wrestlers, and so now Maria, backstage after this match, Bennett says, the thing mucking up 2017 is Ali, and reminds Maria that she owns Ali. Maria says she's going to do something to Ali, and they will both enjoy it. I'm praying that's a threesome live on air, but that probably won't happen. But what they could do is they could have Maria fire Ali, and then have Ali come back because she was signed by Impact Wrestling, and then have her full-time going at Maria. Because this has been going on for give or take.
Have they been wrestling each other like via proxies? Like Maria has Michael Bennett, and Ali has just been backing Braxton, and is that what's been happening?
No, it's not even that. It's been a burial of Ali, who then can't take much more, so then Maria tries to punish her for standing up to her by having Ali wrestle other women, kind of. But Ali's slowly transitioning to be a wrestler. They're doing the story where Braxton Sutter's been training Ali. So it's been a good story.
Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. Okay.
And I've been saying this for a very long time now, that they're going to waste this to the point where, I don't mean waste it. What I mean is that they're going to leave it so long that I understand long-term, planning and long-term build, but sometimes you can leave it too long to the point where it's already peaked and the crowd reaction won't be there. Thankfully, the crowd are reacting hot to her still, which is a good thing. And when she finally does make it, I think she's going to have a great knockouts title reign, or a great long fucking feud with someone, because she just had this great feud with Maria, which proves she can cut promos, she can have a great character. Now we need to see if she can have great wrestling matches. But what were your thoughts on the match, besides the bullshit getting up from the pile driver? What were your actual...
It wasn't bad. I just felt like I enjoyed it. I just felt like they just missed out on some opportunities. There's several different things they could have done. There's several different directions they could have went with, and the one that they did go, I just don't really feel like worked out.
That's fair enough. Then we had Rosemary come out. She's the current Impact Wrestling Knockouts champion. She says...
Okay, I got one question. Now, she's part of the Decay, right?
Correct.
Okay,
correct.
Are the Decay, are they good guys or bad guys?
Bad guys.
Okay, they're bad. Okay, because when I saw them wrestle the DCC, it's like they were playing the good guy role, and then when I saw Rosemary come back out, it's like, okay, she's was a woman, and it didn't make sense to me, but okay.
Jade's the baby face. Rosemary's a heel on this, but in the open, but like you said in there, the DCC are heels as well. So that kind of didn't make sense. But anyway, Rosemary comes out there saying the Decay will spread like a virus, and she pretty much warns the Knockouts division. Jade, she comes out, she says if it wasn't for the mist in the steel cage match, she would be Knockouts champion and wants a rematch for the title. Rosemary challenged her to they called it a Monsters Ball match, which is actually meant to be a Monsters Brawl match, and she kept calling it that. Jade accepts and says, prepare for war, you demon bitch. Rosemary then attacks Jade. Jade then tries and attempts a package pile driver, but Rosemary gets the fuck out of there. And I haven't read spoilers. I was told a spoiler regarding the World Championship tonight, what actually was taped tonight, which broke my heart, and I will not get into it because the night's darkened for the spoilers. But I read reports that this match, Monsters Brawl match, is off the chart, and it features blood and just disgraceful spots. So I'm actually extremely looking forward to this, and I hope it's next week.
Okay.
What were your thoughts on the whole segment there with the women?
With Rosemary, she was like the female Bray Wyatt. She just kind of started rambling there, and the more she talked, the less interested I became. I felt like when you've got that kind of physical presence, that odd look there, sometimes I think less is more. I think the less she says, the more important it would sound. Whereas I think Jade, you can talk, you can get everything, but I think with Rosemary, if it was me, I would be like, don't say all that much. Have everybody hanging off every word that you say. Try to be short, sweet, to the point. Because I think that would actually help her out a little bit more, especially when you've got that look. You want people. I'd want people to be staring at that, going, "Whoa, that's different."
What about the bullshit? I hated when they said this when it was red versus blue. That pissed me off. I didn't write it down, but I hated it when I think it was Jade says.
I just thought they were referring to their hair color. Is there something else behind other than that?
I thought they were just trying to do a Raw versus SmackDown little dig there. I don't like shit like that.
No, I don't think that was a dig. At least in my opinion, I thought they were just referring to their hair.
Okay, I remember Rosemary having black hair before the year, but maybe new set taping.
She had red highlights in it.
Yeah, so maybe she had her hair done. Who knows? And then we had a World Tag Team title match. You have the Wolves versus the Broken Hardies. And it feels like a long time since I've seen the Hardies in a fucking traditional wrestling match. This is strange to me. We're in a different territory. Absolutely strange. I loved when Matt Hardy had Eddie Edwards in the corner. He's going, delete, 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 just smashing his head into the buckle, screaming delete. I just find
that was funny.
That was really funny. Richards here. I've forgotten how damn good Davey Richards was in the ring. He did a Northern Lights suplex on Matt as he had a bridged roll up on Jeff. He also applied a figure four on Matt as he was applying the ankle lock on Jeff. Jeff hit the Whisper of the Wind, missed a Swanton Bomb off the top. Matt hits the Twist of the Fate. Jeff Swanton Bomb, kick out 2, good near fall. Richards then tells Edwards to get in the ring to do some double team offense, but Jeff rolls him up to get the win. The Hardys retain the tag titles. The Wolves then argue, surely now we're going to get Davey Richards turn on Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards versus Eddie Edwards for the Impact Wrestling World Championship. Surely. I mean, we know we have Lashley. We have Lashley versus Edwards. Okay, that we know. But maybe we just get Lashley. I haven't read spoilers. Maybe Lashley defeats Eddie Edwards, and then maybe Eddie Edwards versus Davey Richards is a long-term feud for the summer. Because I would have no complaints with that. What were your thoughts on the main event for the tag titles?
I enjoyed it. I think they were kind of teasing that beforehand, going out there. The match itself was good. By the way, I didn't know that Eddie Edwards was the champion. I like Eddie Edwards and I like Davey Richards. So maybe that's another incentive to watch because I like the Wolves. And they had some good battles in Ring of Honor, so maybe they'll, carry that over into TNA. I can understand being upset because I really felt like, that Edwards kind of botched the ending there, kayfabe-wise, instead of shrugging off Matt Hardy and then going after Jeff. He did a plancha over the top and it messed up the game plan and allowed a quick win.
I liked it though. It was a good match. It was a good match. So we'll go to some live comments. So make sure you pop your comments in now. What were your overall summary of enjoyment for at least the hour you watched of this week's episode of Impact Wrestling? And will you be back in the future for Impact Wrestling reviews? Because remember, Thursday now we won't have Lucha or NXT to do because we only have NXT on Wednesday.
Okay. Well, you know what? Under the circumstances, I might give it another look. Maybe see, give it some time to see how it plays out. Because usually you have to give it about any wrestling program about roughly 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks, 2 months, roughly about there. So say by the beginning of March, if the product hasn't got you, then you just know you're completely done with it again. Yeah.
I guess I got nothing to lose on that end. But as far as like watching it, if somebody was to ask me, like, hey, boom, what'd you think about TNA? I'd be like, yeah, it was okay. I mean, from what I saw, it wasn't like awesome, but it wasn't bad either. It was just I kind of want to see where they're going to go under new management.
Exactly, but they got you. They got you to watch, so that's a good thing. So we'll go to some live comments now. What have we got here? So we got Rick1982 says, what's up, Boom Boom and LK? How long until the Wolves eventually break up? So how long do you think Booms and I'll go?
I'm thinking within the next 2 to 3 weeks from the way it's looking.
I think next week. I think next week they'll do it. I have maybe next week. I don't know. We'll just have to see what they announce for next week. Kevin Eric Snell says, I haven't been keeping up to TNA. What's the backstory with the DDC? How did it start? And basically, the DCC it's Storm, Eddie Kingston, and Bram. All three of them left Impact, and they came back and they wanted vengeance. They were pissed off of everything that happened. Storm's pissed off because the company turned their back. Bram because the Decade left him high and dry and no one came to help him. And Kingston because it's bullshit how, 15 years in the business and he still wasn't there. So they kind of put the masks on. They kind of come across as a bit of like a terrorizing kind of group.
Yeah, because that looked a lot like the KRD they had in Ring of Honor when they brought back in it was Chris Sabin and the Addiction.
God, who remembers that? That was fucking shit. Oh, that was awful.
And when you say the Decade, I keep thinking about that faction that was it was BJ Whitmer, it was Roderick Strong, Adam Page,
Jimmy Jacobs.
Jimmy Jacobs, that whole crew right there. When you keep saying the Decade, I know it's not, but I was like, oh, that's what I kept saying, what I keep thinking.
Gary North said it's snowing in Essex, LK. Very cold here in the UK. Oh, I agree. I'm fucking freezing my balls off.
We had a heat wave come through today here in Virginia.
Lucky for some. Olay Samuel A saying TNA Impact is not a wrestling show. It's a lame sitcom. That's not fair. But, everyone has their opinion. Rick 1982 said, I sadly also saw the spoilers about the TNA World title situation from the Impact tapings after checking someone's Twitter account. Don't worry, I won't be posting what happened. Yeah, thank you very much for not posting, because we don't really like posting spoilers. And
we're anti-spoilers here.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. I can see why they did it. I really, really do understand. But at the same time, I'm going to wait and see how it actually played out on television. D-Rox says, Ali is a Bailey ripoff. I love her as a heel in Shimmer and Smash, but this sucks. Fair enough, each their own. Karen X now says, Rosemary as a female Bray Wyatt. Oh no, that's an image I didn't need. TNA turn Ali heel and NXT turn Billie Kay babyface. Billie Kay, yeah, they could turn Ali heel and have her turn on Braxton Sutter. They could do that. And we were talking about that on the NXT show yesterday about Billie Kay turning. Samuel A says Rosemary is an updated Daphne and I have no problem with this. I remember Daphne. Jeez, that's like 2009 and 10 when they had Dr. Stevie Richards and Abyss. Jeez. Chauncey Bullock says The Club, a.k.a. Brother LK and Brother Boom. I knew you come. Marcus Scott said, I'm glad Brother Nero can indulge in his addiction. Again, love me some Swantoms. Basically, Matt Hardy hates spot monkeys. And he says, and it's addiction and the monkey spots. So that was where that came from. Very funny. Chauncey Bullock says, Jericho turned babyface. Yeah, they're probably... My gut instinct now is Roman Reigns is going to defeat Owens at Rumble. And then Owens versus Jericho at WrestleMania for the US title. Edward Mohan says, once the Hardys leave for WWE, they will be unwatchable. That's not really fair. I think the show's decent. I think it just gets a bad stick. But as a whole, you Booms gave it a what did you give it? A weak win?
Yeah, I gave it a weak win.
Yeah, I give it a weak win too. Though nothing bad. It's better than Raw. It's much better than Raw.
Come on, we got to at least set the bar high.
It's better than Raw. I would put it on the level of like an NXT. It's really not bad. There's not okay. It may not have the great 5-star matches on there, but there was a good last man standing match. There was a decent TNA World Tag Team Title main event. I generally enjoy the show, and people who bash the product and Booms, you are the one who can come under this umbrella. People like to bash the product, and then when they watch it, they're actually surprised. What do you feel that it was better than you anticipated?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't know what to expect because, I hadn't seen it in a while, so I didn't know what was going on. I really didn't know all. I mean, I knew of the characters, but I hadn't really seen a lot of them in action, at least not in a while. Plus, TNA was under new management, different direction, so I didn't know what new direction they were going. So I didn't know what to expect. But
were you pleasantly surprised when you turned it on?
Yeah, I'm going to say because I didn't hate it. I do want to stress that I did not hate it.
So are we going to get a verbal contract that you'll be joining me next week for the show?
I'm not going to enter into a verbal contract. If I get an opportunity to watch it, I think I will. And who knows? Because, you know, I'm going to be going through Lucha Underground withdrawal, so I'll need something to fill the void.
Exactly, and that's where TNA Impact Wrestling or Just Impact Wrestling comes.
Mm-hmm.
So I am going to go. What am I going to do now? I am going to film LK Live, my daily news show. That's going up for my Patreons. Links in the description box below. So if you want to see that show, you're gonna have to sign up to there. There's a $1 pledge per month, which just gets you access to the exclusive shows. A $5 pledge per month, you get that, and as well as a show of your choosing exclusively for your review. So say you like WCW Hardcore Havoc 2000 and you say, I want this reviewed, I will review it for you and send it directly to your email, so you'll be the only person who gets that, as well as exclusive content. $20 per month, you get that, as well as the show review, exclusive content, and you'll also get to be on a show which will just be filmed with me and you, so you actually get to talk to me in person. And for $35 you get a piece of KocoSports merchandise, a chance to be on a show with me, exclusive content, and a show of your own choosing for review. So head over there in the description box below, check out our merch, KocoSports.net, like, comment, subscribe.
Now for $50, LK will come to your house and he will do your dishes. And he'll do as he does your dishes, he will talk to you about anything wrestling that you want to. Now for $100, LK will tuck you into bed. He'll tuck you into bed and he'll sit by your bed. He'll open up a book and he will read to you. You know, he'll read like Mick Foley's biography, Hulk Hogan's biography, Chris Jericho, whatever you want. He'll read that to you as you fall asleep, and then when you fall asleep, he'll just politely excuse himself from your house. Now for $200, LK will wash your car. He'll wash your car. He'll take off his shirt, you know, and he'll play some like, you know, White Snake and, you know, some, you know, fog hats.
Sweet cherry pie.
And like scrub your car and be like, ooh, it's dirty. So that's for $200. Now for $500,
I smell a heel turn.
For $500, LK will have sex with you. Now, we're just talking just straight up missionary style. And he'll be like, yes, almost. Ah, there we go. Yes, because English sex.
The thing is, though, this is per month. This is per month. So think about it. I could just have sex with someone, wash a car, and I'm done for the month. Fucking pack it in. I don't need to come on here every night. That's my work done for the month.
There you go.
No, in all seriousness, that is per month. So if you want 12 pieces of merchandise a year, as well as exclusive shows, head over there. And that was just a joke, and it was funny, and I played along with it, and it was all entertainment. But in serious note, my 2017 New Year's resolution was to pack in the job that I despise so much. And I'm back tomorrow, which is disappointing. That's why I was a bit down at the start. But I've set up a Patreon to set a goal of $500. That's the goal. We're already at $4.95. So that's $500 per month, and I'll be able to quit my job. So I'm not asking for like £10,000 a month. I'm asking for, I need from all of you combined $500 per month, and that's it. But you don't have to do it. You don't have to pledge. As long as you watch me, I'm satisfied. It's just if you want extra content, it's always there for you on the Patreon. And also I'll be joining the KocoSport marketing team soon, so that's even more chance for me to be able to quit the fucking job. I despise my job. I would rather watch Raw on a loop for 12 hours than go into work. I despise mine, but I can't quit it though. On the Patreon page I had a description on like why I set up the page. If I quit the job, I wouldn't have the schedule that I want. Because of seniority there, I can have the schedule I want, which is 4 to 11. Very few jobs are 4 to 11 p.m. every day. You know, because normally people are like, oh, I have mixed shifts. You know, I do sometimes morning, sometimes afternoon, sometimes I just have evenings because that's what I signed up for. You know, just evenings because I've been so long. I said, look, I can only do evenings because I do my shows. So if I went somewhere else, I would have mornings. I wouldn't be able to do shows. And then I'd be miserable because I can't do shows. It would fuck up my sleeping pattern, and it would just drive me insane. So I'm just having to grind it this year at this job I despise, working with people I cannot stand. But, you know, it's for a great cause. And then hopefully with the marketing stuff and the Patreon, hopefully one day this can become my job, talking to a microphone about pro wrestling. So that's please pledge. I'm freezing here. Look, I'm in my dressing gown. I'm joking. Booms, show me why you're the best salesman in the business.
I want to thank everybody for joining us. So in the meantime, to the next show, you can join us at KocoSports.com. That's KocoSports.com. It's your home for combat sports. It's where the world goes to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. Also, be sure to like, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We're cranking out content all the time. Let's see, coming up, we're going to start all over again on Monday with our Monday Night Raw review. We'll follow up on Tuesday with a SmackDown review. Hopefully we can work in some 205 Live. Lucha Underground is on hiatus, so we'll be covering NXT after it airs. And then who knows, maybe this TNA thing will be a weekly thing with me as well. So, but you guys,
even if it's not, I'll be back. Even if it's not, I'll be back next week. Okay, I'll definitely 110% be back next week. Maybe with Booms, maybe without.
So that's going to do it for me. Well, thanks for inviting me on, LK. So in the meantime, kids, stay classy, and the boom just went bang, and I am out.